Hello all, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, good morning.
very good morning. Joshna, Sultan, Rutraj, Riyaj, Mukund, MD, Dikshit, Devi, Akshay. Anybody new today? All right. Okay, let us start. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we started with IOC module, Spring Core module, right? Once again, let us revise our roadmap. Okay. Every day we need to read this like Bible. Okay, so we are discussing core module, right? Core is the base module for all other modules, right? On top of core module only, we are going to see all other modules. Core is a base module. Without this module, other modules we cannot able to use because this module is also implemented in core module itself. And this classes, all the classes using this Jdbc ORM, their libraries, their own libraries, or by extending these libraries if you implement your own classes, right? All these classes are going to run in core module only. Core is having container. We need to use that containers to run our applications. So as a developer, right, as a developer, right, when you create a class in Spring, this is how you need to do. You need to create your classes and you need to configure it in XML file, or else annotation based also we have. In case of annotation based, we will avoid this completely XML configurations. Okay, so first thing, we configure this class into XML file, then we load this XML file into application context. When you load this XML into application context, this application context is a container, I said, right? So when you deploy your application, for whom you are deploying it? For the customer, right? Customer should able to access your application. So by using what you are deploying, by using this container, right? By using this container. So this container is doing what? When you load your class through XML file here using application context will create object instantly. Whenever you load, let's say he's a chef, he's preparing biryani, he need to prepare biryani, chef need to prepare biryani, and he need to make it ready before customer coming to the hotel itself. Okay, application context will do that. As a developer, if you create a class and configure it in XML file, and when you load it into application context, instantly or immediately it will create your object, and it will wait for the users. So when users try to access already prepared object only, it will serve whatever object it is prepared. Like biryani, they will prepare in a big container, and whenever customers comes in, the same biryani they will serve to everyone. Some portion of it they will serve to everyone. So here also, right, for your classes it will create only one object. By default, one object only will be created. One object is sufficient. Okay, one object is sufficient. Multiple objects are not required. For each customer we should not create one object. Okay, I'll tell you why that is. Okay, we do that discussion now. The same image I want, let me copy. We discuss about singleton and prototype. Okay. So coming to here, as a developer you are creating an online food delivery system. Okay, this is basically flow. Okay, we create a class, configure it in XML. Finally, we load it into application context. It will create object. Then customer will consume that object. Consider your application is online food delivery system. Okay, order food use case you are implementing for customer. Okay, so online food delivery system you are implementing here. Food delivery system. Food delivery app. Food delivery app you are implementing here. So for this food delivery app, in this food delivery app, right, this is the use case. The requirement is customer should able to place the order for available items. Customer should able to order food for available items. But before customer ordering it, this is one use case requirement. So for customer, if you want to provide this item, somebody should prepare it first. Okay, so before that itself, hotel should prepare menu. Hotel should prepare menu and make it available for customer. Make it available for customer. So every day hotel should prepare a menu. Let's say your hotel is changing menu every day. Prices you wanted to change. Okay, you wanted to do the changes based on the you know the prices of retail, right? You may purchase all the oils and all for your hotel. So if you see that the variable price is required every day, so hotel should prepare a menu with new items. They may remove old items and they may add new prices. They may update the prices. So this is the requirement. Hotel should able to prepare the menu. Okay, and it will make it available for the customer. So customer should able to place the order for the available items from menu. They will check each and every hotel menu and they will place the orders. So this is what need to be happened in food delivery app. First thing, hotel should prepare the menu and customer should able to order the food. Okay, now you are implementing classes. Now you are jumping here. Developer, I hired developer Sultan. He came here to develop it. Now this guy need to implement two use cases. I asked him to Sultan implement these two use cases. Okay, so developer he is going to implement two use cases. I explained him we need to provide one user is hotel user. He will connect with our application to prepare the menu. He will connect with our application to prepare the menu, and the next one is customer. He will connect with our application to order the food. Two types of users are involving here. One is hotel manager and one is customer. These two users are involving. So this developer is going to implement two use cases. One is for hotel management and one is for customer. So first, for hotel management, developer decided that, okay, let me provide a page. Let me provide a view page. So in this view page, he should able to add his item name, right? His hotel name or his hotel ID. Let's say he has a unique hotel ID. He need to put that hotel ID, his unique ID, so that this item will be available in his hotel only. Item name, item description, and some images, food pics. We would see food pics also, right? And price price also, if you want to decide based on the quantity. So for which quantity, what is the price? So these all items you need to fill. Who need to fill? I'm as a developer, I'm creating this page for whom? I'm creating it for hotel management. Okay, so you implemented this view, and to read these values you need to implement my developer decided to implement one controller class here. We need to follow MVC pattern, right? So here you need to implement controller. In this controller, this guy is doing what? He is reading all these parameters. He's reading them. Read all this hotel ID, item name, description, food picks and prices, quantity, everything. He's reading them. Okay. So which means the data which submitted will go here. From here we are submitting it to. From here we are submitting it to service. From here we are submitting it to service. Service also will read it. When you pass data from controller to service, service also will read it. Okay, and finally you will implement one DO class to save data into database. DO class. So the DO class also will read this data. And finally it will store it into DB. Saves to DB. It will connect with database. It will save it. This is how you implement it. Okay. My developer implemented it very well. He implemented it very well with standard MVC practice. Okay, he implemented this clear use case. Fine. So how many classes my developer implemented? One controller class, one service, one DAO. For whom he implemented this for? He implemented this complete use case for hotel management. Okay, hotel management will use this use case, and my developer is going to create one more use case. So one more use case is left. So he need to code, right? He need to implement, right? One more use case. Developer is implementing one more use case. For customers also. Once the data is available here, once the data is stored into database, okay, once the data is stored into this database, right? Customer should be able to use that data, right? All the items you are storing here, item name, price, all other parameters are storing here into database table. Now customer wants to place the order. For customer, what you need to do, when customer search for something, customer is having option here, search option. When he search for a item, something biryani here, when customer search for biryani here, you know, here you need to read that request. You need to again send that your request parameter biryani, and you need to read that value from your table. Okay, so here what it need to do, it will read biryani and it will make a select operation, select from items which is biryani menu. It will search for all biryanis from all the hotels. So it will get list of biryanis. It will send that list of biryanis here. So the same list of biryanis it will send. From different hotels, it will send the same list of biryanis. Finally, the same list of biryanis, we will show it in a table. Here we will iterate in view, the same list we will iterate and we will show all the biryanis with their pics. Each biryani pic and their prices, everything we will showcase here. The biryani item name and price, everything we showcase here. So user will decide which one he need to purchase. User will decide which one he need to purchase from them. He will select his required one and he will go to buy option. He will buy it. Okay. So for customer, he implemented this use case. Okay. So now you implemented classes very well. Good. So here two view pages you implemented. Okay. One view is for hotel user. This hotel user, hotel management should be able to prepare their menu, right? So for them, you are using first use case, hotel management. Hotel manager will do this. Hotel manager will ask chef what we are cooking today. and he will add all that items. And here customer will order for the food. Customer is finally ordering for the food. So you implemented one controller, one service, one DAO for hotel manager use case, and one controller service DAO for one customer use case. Finally, how many classes you have? 6 classes you have. For hotel users, 3 classes. For customer, 3 classes. So when you load the 6 classes through IOC, right? As a developer will do what again? While implementation his classes, he will create all that classes together. He will create all that 6 classes here in this app, 6 classes and 2 views. He will create six classes and 2 views. So all his 6 classes from this food app, right? In his food app, 6 classes he created. All the 6 classes he need to configure it in a XML file, right? He will configure it in a XML file. So XML based configurations we are using here. So he will configure 6 classes here into a XML file. Developer is configuring all the 6 classes here. Now when this XML file is loaded into container, your IOC container, IOC will create immediately all these 6 objects. Only 6 objects it will create. When it will create? During deployment time only. You loading it into this IOC, right? IOC will create 6 objects into JVM. Immediately it will do what? On your server machine. In server machine you will have JVM. Java should be installed. So in that JVM it will create 6 objects. 6 objects immediately it will create. When it will do this entirely? After development. When developer do the deployment, developer completed development and he deployed it. So all six objects are ready. So if 6 objects are ready, then you can ask hotel people, right? You can visit each and every hotel and you can tell them your app is good in terms of ordering food, fast performance we have, or real-time performance, real-time price updates, so many offers they are giving with the free deliveries. You may need to impress hotel people so that they will take your app. Now hotel people taken your app and they wanted to use it. So when they wanted to use it, when any hotel manager, let's say Paradise or many hotels are taking your Bawarchi, many hotels are there in Hyderabad, right? So they are taking this hotel view and they are adding food. So when they try to hit this view page, they will get this view loaded and they will enter their hotel ID, item name, description, price, everything. When they submit this page, right, background your controller object should be already ready, right? So it is already ready because your IOC container is creating it, right? If you use application context here, right, application context will create objects instantly, immediately during deployment time only. So all 6 objects are ready for customers and hotel managers also. So when you submit it, immediately whatever existing object is available in JVM, right, that object will invoke here. So existing controller object is there, that controller object will accept this hotel user data and it will send it to already existing service object, and the service object will send it to already existing DO object. Finally this DO object methods will save your data into tables. Same way, if some customer comes in for purchasing a food item here, customer will search for it. When customer hit the search, immediately it will go to controller. This controller object is already ready, right? For you it is not creating a controller object. Object is already ready because IOC container is created. So this object is ready, so your data will come here. This object will send it to already prepared service object. It will send it to already prepared DO object. Finally it will collect all the items from that hotel and it will show it here. So immediately it is serving the actual purpose, right? If object creation is happening during user request, this first user will disappoint definitely. Bean factory is creating object during first request. Yesterday's example we observed it, right? So one hotel manager came and when he tried to add the product, he will see this page completely rotating. He will fall asleep and he will stop using this application. He will say, no, your application not good. And for the customer also, when customer requested for food, it is keep on searching, then he will imagine that okay, this application is faulty application, he may not use it. So If object creation is happening during first time user request, they will disappoint definitely. So what you need to do, you need to create these objects during your deployment time only. Let's create your objects as a developer. Sultan developed it, Sultan deploy it in a IOC using application context, so that all your objects will be ready. So when customer request, already objects are ready in your container. That object will serve customer purpose, either hotel manager user or customer user. Okay, so object creation need to happen during deployment time only. It is not good that creating object at first time user request. So we observed from yesterday's example, right? So if I go with bean factory, this is like a lazy container. Until first user request, it will not create any objects. That we clearly understand, right? So when I use this, Akshay is ordering food, Arvind is also ordering food, Bhuvanesh is also ordering food for biryani. So first time user Akshay definitely will disappoint, because when Akshay went there, then biryani is preparing. So Akshay may disappoint it. But for Arvind and Bhuvanesh, they are getting it, already prepared biryani. Okay. So which means object is creating on first user request if it is a bean factory. So don't go with bean factory. Let's use application context. Application context will prepare objects well ahead before your request itself. So biryanis and dosas, everything prepared already. Just you need to make a request. That's it. Already prepared objects, they will serve for you. Okay, so this application context approach is good approach than the bean factory approach. Okay, and as I said, one objects are enough. One object is enough. Okay, for entire application, you know, right? Let's say for Swiggy, consider only the 6 classes they have. Only 6 classes. Imagine. Okay, so in Swiggy, almost per day. Okay, almost per day. Consider they are getting 1 lakh food orders. 1 lakh food orders they are getting. 1 lakh times customers ordering the food, and hotel management also they are doing 10,000 calls. 10,000 this calls and 10,000 view calls are happening. Okay, 1 lakh view calls, 1 lakh customer calls, 1 lakh hotel manager calls. Consider if you are creating object every time, like a prototype object. Every time if you are creating a prototype object per day, my request count is here 10,000 plus 1 lakh, 1 lakh 10,000 request. 1 lakh 10,000 into 6 classes. 1 lakh 10,000 into six classes. So in JVM, it need to create for that particular day 1,000, 1 lakh 10,000 into 6, which means 6 lakhs 60,000 objects will be created. Where is the 6 objects count and where is the 6 lakhs 6,000 objects count for every day? Will your JVM can able to handle that many objects? It all depends on your memory. Consider at a time all the 6,000 users requested, 6 lakhs users. In your JVM, if you have only 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM, maybe in production you may have something more big RAM, but still if it is 8 GB RAM also not sufficient for this many objects. And this many objects are unnecessary also, really not required. This is not at all recommended. Why I need to consume that much space? 6 objects are sufficient for my application. So let's create only singleton objects, no prototypes. Prototypes are not at all recommended. For this flows, if you use prototypes, you are gone. Your application will be gone during production time. It will be created so many objects in your app, so your application will be crashed. So now if you see here for the same example, right? In case of application context or bean factory, they are creating only one object, either at the time of loading or at the time of first user request. If I make it a prototype here, if I make them prototype, if I make them prototype here, then gone. Here biryani is ordering by 3 users. For every user, it is preparing it. Akshay, prepare it. Arvind, prepare it. For Bhuvanesh, again prepare it. So for every user, it need to prepare. Which means how many objects it will create? if 1 lakh customers order for a food, 1 lakh times biryani objects will be created. Let's say in the morning itself, Instamart one feature they added. Let's say 1 lakh users are ordering food at the same time around 7 a.m. Many people are wake up at that time and they ordered. So huge the traffic if it is creating during 7 a.m. right? And 1 lakh objects if you are going to create it during that time, 1 lakh objects you are going to create it, your containers might cry, your servers might cry that with that huge volume of objects. Generally that many objects we should not create. Okay, we should not. Singleton objects are enough. Singleton objects are enough. Okay, so prototype we should not use. Go with the only singleton. Go with only singleton. Prototype is not recommended. You must be clear, right, everyone? So singleton is the recommended one. Singleton is the recommended one. Do you guys clear?
Prototype.
Yeah.
Hello, Naveen.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good morning. So prototype.
Okay, tell me, prototype.
Prototype means what, sir?
Okay, prototype means for each request one new object. For each user or for each request it will create one object, one brand new object it will create. Singleton means one object. Prototype means for every request one object. So from this use case, right? So if you are ordering for biryani, it will create one object in JVM. If you order for milk packet, it will create one milk packet object. If you order for something else, it will create that object again. So for every request, you made a request, it will create object. And one more customer made a request, again it will create objects. Which means on every call, right? On every call, when you call this getBean method, it will create brand new object. When you call this getBean method, every time it will create brand new object. That is what prototype. Yeah.
Then how will this one single object will differentiate for different customers?
So basically here we are talking about this MVC classes. Okay, controller. These are the application classes we say. Okay, these all are the application classes. Now for user specific objects, if user having a specific object, your controller will create object and it will destroy it. Okay, so when you order a food, when you order for a food, right, you are ordering biryani. Okay, so your biryani object it will read and hold it into biryani object, and it will take that same biryani object to service, same biryani object to TTO, and it will save it into database. Then it will destroy it. Only this objects, only prototype objects. We are not going to configuring these objects anyway in XML file. We least bother about them. We never configuring that classes anywhere. Okay, automatically controllers will create that objects, they will destroy them. Those are pure prototype objects. Okay, those are user objects. We don't care about that objects. Okay, controller will create and controller will destroy. But question is the right question. So it need to create prototype objects only. You ordered for a biryani, one more user also ordered for biryani, you ordered for vegetable biryani, and other user ordered for some non-vegetable biryani. Now when both customers request the same time, you as a veg person you ordered it, a non-veg person also ordered it the same time. If it is a singleton, your order values may override with the other user order values, so both will get the same non-veg biryani. That is not right case, right? So what will happen if two customers are placing order with different biryani items with different quantities? It will create two biryani objects. Controller will take care of that. It will create them, and later once operation is completed, right, it will destroy them. Only those objects are user specific objects. Your application classes like controller, service, DAO, configuration, all that classes are singleton objects. Okay, we talk about this context maybe in MVC discussion. Okay, so here you will confuse. If already aware of, fine. Okay, so only this user specific objects will be created prototype that will be taken care by controller. We least bother about that classes. Okay, anyway they are prototype, controller will take care. Okay, but your application classes should be singleton classes, your flow classes, basically MVC classes. These all are the flow classes or use case classes you can say, and these are the user classes, user specific classes. These classes will help us to carry whatever request is coming from the user. Here also, right, one hotel manager, right, from this hotel person, adding food. Okay, so when he try to adding food items here, so it will store it into one food items object. So that object will be created here, one new object will be created here. When this user requests it, the same object will be carried forward from here to DAO, and it will save it. Finally it will be destroyed it. Okay, so those objects are prototype. By default they are prototype, we don't need to worry about them. Yeah, others, did you understand? Hello, are we clear? Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, great. Now let me save it. So now we understand about our IOC containers. This is clear. Now the IOC container, the next feature is dependency injection, right? From Spring Core module we are trying to learn, right? First thing, container. We clearly understand about our containers, be in factory and application context, they are creating objects. Now the second thing is dependency injection. Dependency injection. Now as a developer, right, when you try to implement these classes, right, particularly DAO class in your food order application, the same use case if I take here, right, let me take the same use case. So now during implementation, right, during implementation, okay, so during implementation, right, only during development time. Okay, let's talk about development time, right? You are developing your application. Let's say I assign this to Riaz. So Riaz developing this hotel use case now. So while he developing these classes, first generally in development, what is your approach? From which side you will start? So we have view, controller, service, and DAO and database. So do you guys implement this flow from left to right or right to left? Which approach you people recommend?
Right to left.
Means view to database? No, database to view.
Database to view.
Okay. So this is view to DB and here DB to view. This flow is DB to view. So this is DB to view flow. So generally everybody will go with this right to left only. Okay. So first we will start from database and then we will implement DAOs, then service, then controller, finally views we will create. This is the most successful approach. Okay. This is the most successful approach. Okay. So if people try to implement from this side to this side, lot of configurations they will miss. Okay, If people implement from DB to DB to view, 100% you will finish in a single flow. 100% you can implement. But in this case, right, view to DB, lot of things again you should come back and configuring it. Okay, so DB to view pattern only we follow, database side to view pattern. Now database side to view pattern I am following. So first thing for this use case, as a developer, first thing you need to log into your database and you need to create a table. Correct? As a developer, Riaz need to create a table, create items table. You need to create items table with columns. With the columns he need to create. With columns he need to create it. Okay, his job is done. You done this. Then next you need to implement a DO class. So your DO class responsibility is what? It should able to do CRUD operations. Okay, so you will create a class. Next thing, create a DAO class with CRUD operations. CRUD operations means save, update, delete, all that operations you will put. Okay, something like save method, update method, delete method, select methods. You will implement all these database methods here. Okay, you will be implementing all these database methods. You need to create a DO class with all this. Okay, now the service class, you need to create a service class. The third thing, service class with the business logic. If there is any business logic, you need to add that with the business logic. Maybe some kind of business logic you need to add here. Let's say, after adding food, if you want to send a SMS to the hotel management by saying that your food added successfully, or an email if you want to add, or any business calculations if you want to do, you will do that inside service layer. So you will be implementing it. Finally, you will implement controller class. Controller to read data from view and send to service and send to service layer. This is what you will implement in controller class. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so you will be implementing controller class. Finally,
No,
you will implement view.
send it to view, right? From view to
No. Let's understand. This is the save case only. I want to save this data.
okay.
I want to save this data into DB. Controller need to read data from view. When user
Oh,
submit to add a item, controller will read and send it to service, right?
oh, okay.
So finally, create view with all the fields. With all fields and button and Ajax calls. Finally, you will implement it. Ajax call to whom? Controller class. So you will implement it, right? This is what you will do. You will implement, you will create a table, then DO class with CRUD operations, then service class with your business logic, controller class to read data and to send it to service layer, and finally view with all your labels, text boxes, buttons, and Ajax calls. Everything you will apply here. Now here, when user submits this data, when you deploy it, right, user will submit this data. So you would able to read here. Controller will read here. After reading it here, controller need to send it to service, right? So this is a Java class. If you want to send parameters from one Java class to another Java class methods, how you will handle that? You will be creating your service class object here. Service is equal to new service. You need to create service class object and you will call ses.create, and the same parameters, whatever you read, right, the same data you will send here, whatever read data you have. So here your create method will be called with the data. Now here create method need to do what? It need to send it to save method. So here this service, if it want to call save method, again this also need a DO object, DOD equal to new DAO and d dot save. You pass data here. So finally, this data will be transferred from here to here. So when user submit, this is what will happen. User submits data. When user submits data, the data will be submitted to controller method. Controller will send it to service method. Service will send it to DAO method. Finally, DAO will connect with database. How it will connect? It needs connection properties, driver, URL, username, passwords, right? So using these parameters, you will be connecting with your database. Driver, URL, username, passwords. So save method will create connection. Then you will create a statement and you will execute the statement. So this statement will put the data into table. This is what will happen when user submits the data. Go here, then here, then here, then here, finally. Okay, now here in this case, I wanted to talk about dependency injection. Okay, so I created classes carefully. If I observe, right, each class is having some dependencies. Okay, each class is having some dependencies, not only plain class, right? So you need some external configurations also here for every class. If you see, so here if you see, driver name, URL, username, passwords are required for your DO class. Why these properties are required? To connect with your database. Okay, so here DO class needs these properties. DO class needs these properties. These are the dependencies for my DO class. And service wants to talk with DAO, so the DAO is dependency for my service class. And controller class wants to talk with service, so my service class object is dependency for my controller class. So carefully if you see here, right, all these are dependencies for your classes. You created classes and you are hard coding something here, right? You are hard coding it. So if you don't want hard code them, if you don't want hard code them, you need to use dependency injection concept. You need to use dependency injection concept. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so these all are the dependencies. So these all are the dependencies for your classes, whichever you implement. So as a developer, you implemented, right to left, view to DB. So during your implementation, you are hard coding few things here, like driver properties, inside service DO object creation, inside controller service object creation. So this is really not required in Spring. In Spring, you can pass these properties dynamically from properties files or from XML files. These values, right, you need not to hard code. If you hard code, what is happening? You are creating intentionally one new object every time. But as we discussed in earlier discussion, one controller object, one service object, one DO object is enough, right? So if that is the case, user submitted data to controller. What you are doing here? 100 hotel users are requesting. So when 100 hotel users request, what will happen? 100 service objects will be created as you are using new keyword. And when you call your services, 100 DOs will be created. Every time 100 connections will be created. This is not the good practice. Spring is saying use singleton. So if you create objects, it will become prototype. So you don't create any object. Whatever objects Spring creating, right? DO objects, right? This DO object or service objects, you can able to inject them. This object dynamically, you can able to inject them here. You can able to inject it here using auto wiring concept. Using auto wiring concept, we can able to inject them. Using auto wiring concept, we can able to inject them here. So you need not to hard code them. So that is what auto wiring concept is all for. Auto wiring will helps us a lot, developer, to minimize the auto wiring concept will help you to minimize, let's say, dependency injection, not auto wiring. Okay, both are same. I'll talk about auto wiring. Dependency injection will helps dependency injection. So it will help you to minimize hard coded parameters. Help it will help to inject values dynamically from XML or properties files or classes, anything. Okay, anything we can do. So it will help you. Dependency injection will help you to pass values dynamically instead of hard coding them. Okay, in a simple diagram, if you want to understand, let's say you have a class here. Some configurations are required for my class. Okay, here my class is DO class. It want to connect with database. So here I have driver, URL, username, password, properties I have with the properties I have. These properties I can able to pass from external files. So and here I am doing save, update, delete operations. Okay, CRUD operations I am doing. I'm getting data from user. So using that data, I am doing save operation, update operation, delete operation on my database. So here what you can do, this driver URL username parameters are dependencies. So first thing, while implementing your classes, you need to identify your dependencies. These all are DIs for me, dependency parameters. These all are dependency parameters for me, DI parameters. So these DI parameters you can pass from your XML file. Okay, so what you can do in your Spring XML file, you can pass these values, or from properties file, db.properties. Here you can put your key values, driver name. If you are connecting with Arkil driver, Arkil URL, Arkil username, Arkil password, whatever you have. These values will be supplied by your IOC. IOC is gem. He can do anything. IOC will read these properties and it will assign that properties to your dependencies. It will set these properties here. It will read from properties file and it will set that properties here. So that in future, if you want to change from Arkil to MySQL to DB to MongoDB to Cassandra to anything else, Postgres, any database you want to use it. Just to go to these properties files and change these parameters. Okay, so in simple words, this is what dependency injection is a concept will helps you to pass any data to your class, any kind of data. Here I am showing only simple primitives, not only primitives, right? In Java we have so many data types, right? Can anybody tell the data types? What kind of data types we have? So here you can have any type of dependencies. Primitives, arrays, right? Objects and collections. So many data types we have, right? So any kind of dependency you can have. Your class can have any type of dependency. IOC is there for us. It can pass anything dynamically to your class. Note this, you can pass anything, anything. All these are allowed. Anything you can pass from your IOC, either through XML file or properties file. You code it through XML or properties. It's up to you. You can pass anything to your class. This is what dependency injection is. Okay, so we discuss more and more about this dependency injection object concepts from Monday's session. Okay, so Monday session is going to start around 7:30. Okay, your session is going to start around 7:30 to 8:45. Okay, so be ready. Regular sessions are going to hit from Monday. Okay, demo will be finished by today, so you all get the regular link. Okay, so get the regular link. So this video also will be available in YouTube from Monday sessions, right? You will be getting a regular link, so you will be receiving all videos to your drive. If you are already done the payment, right, please share your email ID to DURGASOFT. If you miss to share with them, at least share with me in our WhatsApp group. Okay, uh, personally share with it me, right, on my number. Share your payment screenshots and email IDs with me. So if anything missing, right, I will ask them to add. Okay, so that is all. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, Naveen.
Yeah,
So from Monday onwards, are we going to write code using Eclipse or IntelliJ, or is it going to be
Eclipse
theoretical
only.
classes?
No.
Acha,
No theoretical class. Every day we need to conclude with example only. Whatever I say here, I will conclude. Otherwise, I will not talk even about that topic here.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Naveen.
Yeah, 100%. You can say 200%. Whatever I talk, I'll show. Otherwise, I will not talk about it here
Yeah,
because
one
I
more
need
thing,
to show the
Naveen.
proof. Yeah.
One more thing is IntelliJ going to be same as Eclipse?
Um, Actually, I don't have much hands-on IntelliJ. I was in one project while I was using it, right? It is something like Eclipse only. But if you habituate with that, that is somewhat little user-friendly. If you habituate it, as we have good hands-on Eclipse, we are using still Eclipse only. For Java-based development, IntelliJ, nowadays they given, um, good features in that IDE. But it's all
Uh,
depends. If you want to
yeah,
go
why
with
I'm
Eclipse,
asking is correct. Correct. Why I'm asking is if we develop some code in class in Eclipse, can I directly copy paste that in IntelliJ?
yeah, that you can do.
Oh, okay, okay.
Otherwise,
Thank you.
yeah, I also want to get some hands-on IntelliJ. I'm seeing many e-commerce customer, particularly, and in insurance also, I see STS is so friendly, uh, but many are using that, and they are saying IntelliJ is more friendly. So I need to even practice on that. Maybe we will do few sessions on IntelliJ so that everyone will get hands-on IntelliJ as well.
Yeah, that would be helpful, Naveen. Thank you.
Yeah. You inform me, I'll get some hands-on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Saturday and Sunday will be holidays, right?
Holidays, yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
Saturday, Sundays, I will be sharing some, additional knowledge also. Free workshops I'm conducting every Saturday, Sunday. You people can join. 2-3 hours
Okay.
sessions I'm conducting. Yeah.
Naveen, after this meeting, I wanted to talk to you one-on-one. Is it okay?
Yeah, you can call me.
Okay. Thanks, Naveen.
Yeah. Yeah. Dikshit, you want to say something? Hello, Dikshit, you are in mute.
Hello,
Do
sir.
we learn
Hello,
servlets?
Naveen.
Yeah, advanced Java also I will teach, right? As I said, advanced Java few concepts and Hibernate complete content. I'm going to share it with you. Okay, free content only. Okay, advanced Java and Hibernate. Yeah, and any questions?
Hello, Naveen.
Yeah,
Sir, I'm getting some error while doing the program, sir.
yeah, I will see.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will check it. Do you want to share now?
Yes, sir.
Let me make you presenter. Yeah, you can share. And any questions between others? Do you have any doubts?
Sir, Naveen, is it still visible to?
Yeah, I can able to see. Find
Yes.
exception unable to drive module caused by Java lang invalid module description exception. I see you are using Java 18 for this example. Just right click on our project IOC. Just right click and change version to 1.8. Right click on the project, go to properties, go to Java build path, and just double click on this JRE. Double click on JRE. Okay. Uh, go to the drop down Java SE 1.18 you see, right? Choose their 1.8 Java SE 1.8. Yeah, click on finish. Again apply and close. Try to run your application now. Go to your main method and run it. Okay. Unable to drive module boot layer. What is it?
Yeah,
Go to your main method
error
class.
occurs.
Uh,
Main
Just open
method.
your main method class.
Hmm.
Where you have main method. Main. Yeah. Just right click here. Right click and right click on main method class. No. Here.
Main
On
should
the
be
main.
lowercase.
Yeah. Yeah. Method signature is fine. No. Just right click on this application context area, right? Uh, just right click on line number
Yes.
9. Something's
Nine.
run as Java. Run as Java. Just right click on this main method class. You know, right, how to run the main method? Run as
Yes,
Java
sir.
application. Now give me control. Run as not that,
Run a
not
Java.
that. No. Give me control if you see. Do you have control option? I don't know how to ask here. Ask for control, request keyboard and mouse control. Yeah. Just right click, run as Java application. Still occurring. Error occurring. Spring demo annotations libraries. Springs source jar file. Not in jar file for release source jar file. Servlet container initializer is not found. Maybe you included Spring 4.3 jars, which is including maybe boot libraries also. It is something trying to start. Do you have my libraries which I shared with you?
Yes, sir, but it is not important. I have tried.
No, you should able to import. Let me do this first. Let me remove these jar files. Okay. Now show me where you have that libraries.
But minute, I haven't downloaded.
You haven't downloaded. Open and download it.
I have downloaded, but it's not.
Spring 3 rare, right? It could not download. Why?
The download Spring Archivist.
Huh. Just click on it. Is it downloaded anything? Is it downloaded?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It has been downloaded.
Do you have rare extractor WinRAR? You need WinRAR.
Rare extract.
This is the RAR file, right? RAR, like zip file.
Yes, sir.
You should able to extract it. Just yeah, let it complete. Let it.
Yes, I am enabled to extract.
Not the exceptional teachers.
Okay. Go to your downloads.
There is one Spring 3.2.
No, we got it here. Just right click on that. Right click. Go to show more options. Yeah. You don't have WinRAR. Use WinRAR software. Let me do that. Just search for WinRAR here. It is okay, right, to install in this machine?
Yes.
Okay. So you got, okay, install.
Okay, no.
Yeah, you should be able to click on OK. Okay, done. Now, where is our download option? Here it is. Go to downloads. Now see this Spring. Where is 3? Yeah, this one, right? Where is your Eclipse? Yeah.
Yes.
Right click, build path, config build path, add external jars. Now you got the real problem. It is saying this file is not found. So it is there in this folder, right? Maybe create a separate
Application
folder.
call.
Line number 10, again you have problem. Now everything is fine. You done some mistake here. It is saying so you have everything fine. Bean ID. So same ID you are using here. This should not be the case. You should not
Okay.
use. Bean ID should be unique. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. No problem. So that's all, guys. Yeah. We'll be connecting 7:30. You will get the regular link. Okay. Please get sign up for the session. After payment they will share with you. Yeah, Servlets and JSPs I'll teach, Dikshit. Free workshops I will conduct, so you can join there. Between our sessions only I'll plan advanced Java Servlets JSPs, and we will discuss Hibernate also. Yeah. Yes, Devi, go ahead.
Yeah. Naveen,
Yeah.
I install, I set up my environment to do the work. Actually, I install JDK 1.8
Okay.
and Eclipse 2022 12 version. Tomcat
Okay.
9 also installed in my PC.
Okay.
And so my for my SQL, which version need to be installed?
For MySQL, you can use MySQL 5.
5. Huh? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let me see
Okay.
which version I have.
What are the jars you shared, right? I downloaded all the things.
Gotcha. Okay, great. So MySQL server, I installed MySQL 8. Okay, yeah, get it, MySQL 8. This is the latest version.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
I think it's okay with that Eclipse Tomcat 9, okay, na?
Yeah, those are
Yes.
fine. Eclipse
Is that
9,
fine?
Eclipse with and Tomcat 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, MySQL 8, right?
8. It will come up with Workbench also. Workbench you will get. Workbench is like a UI module to connect with your database. MySQL
Okay.
Workbench also you will get it. Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you guys wanted to ask? Hello. Mukund Sultan.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Svital. Okay. Yeah. Is everyone good? Yeah. So that's all then for today. Happy weekend. And tomorrow we have one free workshop. I'll be sharing that with you. Okay. You guys can join there. Yeah. Yes, Vital.
Yeah, fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. Happy weekend. Good day ahead. Bye.
Thank you.